Are graphic tablets useful for architects? Does it handle the different types of tasks that we do every day? And how do you choose a drawing tablet for yourself? I have spent many years in the analog world using sketchbook and pen, and quite accidentally, I bought this digital tablet in 2020, and I should say that it was actually a very good decision. It took me a while to get used to it, but after a point, there was no going back. So I've been using this tablet for about 3 years now. You can tell by the looks of it. And quite recently I switched to a screen digital tablet, but I use both of these tablets for different functions. So let's dive deep and discuss how these digital tablets are a powerful tool for architects. Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to conclude what sort of a digital tablet is the right pick for you. But before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon for notification. So let's look at the different kinds of digital tablets. So drawing tablets are categorized into 3 types. The first category is called digital drawing tablets. These are like a large mouse pad on which you can draw using a stylus instead of your finger. The pricing of these tablets are very affordable, and you just have to connect it to your laptop or PC or mobile and draw it with your stylus. The second type is a screen display tablet, and as the name suggests, it has a screen on which you can draw. This tablet mirrors the screen of your laptop or PC and allows you to draw or write on it, giving a very similar experience as to drawing on paper. These tablets fall in the mid-price range. These two tablets do not function independently, but the third category of tablet does. These are your regular tablets like the iPad or Samsung tablets, which have the apps and programs contained within them and function independently like your computer. The price range of these kind of tablets are obviously on the higher end because of their functionality. A common graphic tablet consists of a screen area on which you can draw. Most tablets also have buttons that can be assigned for different functions. However, these buttons are not very useful for architects since we have a lot of shortcuts across different softwares. Some tablets are wired and some are wireless as well. The stylus looks like a regular drawing pen, not too heavy, and has a pointed nib at the end. The pen stylus also has buttons for shortcuts, and the pen nib can be replaced once worn out. So how is a digital tablet useful for architects? Sketching. The obvious reason for which most people buy a digital tablet, and sketching is something that is very closely related to architects. Regardless of whether you're a student or a professional, we all know the importance of sketching in architecture, and this device definitely helps us to do much more efficiently. I use my tablet primarily for sketching on Photoshop, and the process has been smooth for me throughout the years. The next one will be creating illustrations and post-production. As an architectural illustrator, I depend on digital tablets intensely for the entire process of illustration. It makes it easy to move, resize, adjust textures, and modify objects. Adding quick arrows and notes on diagrams feels much more natural than a mouse. Also, post-production of renders is usually improved with a tablet, which can help you make small corrections, highlight or darken specific parts of a render, or add human cutouts much more easily. The next major advantage for architects with a digital tablet is 3D modeling. This is where the shortcut keys come in handy, and you can assign them to make your modeling workflow much faster. However, if you're using more than one 3D modeling software, these shortcut keys might be a bit difficult to memorize across different softwares. Apart from those, you can use your digital tablet for video editing, 2D drafting in AutoCAD, and your general day-to-day tasks, since this is basically a replacement for your mouse. Now let's look at some of the pros and cons of a digital tablet. Wrist posture. If you're an architect and you notice a constant pain at the corner of your wrist, then you're not the only one. Architects spend enormous amount of time in the computers and mouse, and this leads to a huge strain in the wrist or sometimes even serious injuries. So even if you don't completely switch to a digital tablet, you can use a combination of your mouse and stylus to prevent that strain on your wrist. This will be highly beneficial in the long run. In general, if you need to digitalize your hand-drawn sketches or your notes, you would ideally have to scan the papers and then retouch them in your computer once again. This could be a tedious process, and the scanned text or drawings are not scalable beyond a point. However, a digital tablet allows you to skip that process, and you can draw or write directly on your computer. And the drawings made are resizable if you make them at a proper resolution. Pen sensitivity. Most of the pen stylus come with sensitivity by which you can make variations of line strokes with the amount of pressure you apply while drawing. This can unlock doors to whole new possibilities. And this is definitely not possible with a mouse. Pressure sensitivity makes drawing with a tablet seem almost as natural as drawing on a paper with a pen. Price range. There are many different brands and models to choose from, and the price range starts as low as 2000 rupees, which is a really good investment in your architectural journey. And speaking about the cons, the first one will be the point that I mentioned earlier. Getting used to the hand-eye coordination with a digital tablet does take some bit of time and effort, and it can be slightly intimidating for beginners. I myself did face a struggle getting used to the workflow of the digital tablet because with the tablet, you draw with your eyes away from the pen and looking at a computer screen. This issue is only with the digital tablet and not with the screen tablet, but of course you can overcome that with some effort. Another one to be added to the list will be portability. Digital tablets need to be placed on a table with a proper writing position to be able to draw or write freely. Because of that, it might be difficult to carry it around or use it outdoors. There are new models of tablets which allow you to connect to a mobile, but I don't think it still solves the problem for architects. So, which kind of tablet will be the right pick for you? If you're an architecture student, a 3D visualization artist, or an architect who does a bit of everything, then I would recommend a digital drawing tablet for you. You could pick a one that suits your budget, but try looking for something that has a large screen space, preferably a 10 by 6 inch. The shortcut buttons are, however, not very essential for architects, and you can work without it as well. A basic digital drawing tablet would be sufficient for your everyday architectural workflow. So as for the screen display tablets, I would recommend this if you're an architect who does extensive sketching like me, or if your work involves animation professionally. Having a screen display tablet is not necessarily an upgrade because both of these devices does different functions. And a screen display tablet is not something that you can use for your everyday task, but it's specifically related to sketching or animation only. You can pick your tablets from top brands like Wacom, XP Pen or Huion. A computer tablet like your iPads or Samsung tablets is recommended to practicing architects or students of masters, which allows you to sync your files across different devices and use it anywhere or everywhere you want to use. This could be like your secondary computer and a good choice for professionals. So that's it from this video. I hope this video was helpful to you to learn a bit more about digital tablets. If you're already using a digital tablet, you can share your experiences in the comments down below. See you on the next one.